Have you noticed? It feels like just yesterday we were watching these clunky robots in university labs, and then boom, all of a sudden they're everywhere. They're doing backflips, they're sorting packages, and they're even promising to fold our laundry. This is not science fiction anymore. A whole new generation of humanoid nobots is here. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what is going on and maybe more importantly, why it's all happening right now.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to establish why this moment feels so different. Then, we'll introduce you to the new stars of the robotics world, the big players. After that, we're going to pop the hood and look at the core technologies making it all possible. And finally, we'll look ahead to what's next, the humanoid frontier. So, for decades, humanoids have been this fascinating but kind of niche thing, almost always stuck inside research labs. Well, that is changing, and it's changing fast. The lab doors are officially swinging wide open.
You know what? Let me just say that again, because this is probably the most important shift we've seen in robotics in a generation. They are leaving the lab, and they are stepping into our world.
And this isn't some far-off, dreamy prediction. Industry experts are all pointing to 2026 as a massive milestone year. We're talking about companies like 1X, who are planning their first deliveries of the Neo robot directly to people's homes. This is happening on a very real and a very, very near timeline.
So that brings us to the big question, right? We've dreamed about humanoid robots for, well, forever. So why is everything finally clicking into place right now?
Well, the answer isn't one single aha moment. It's what's called a convergence. Think of it like three powerful rivers that have been flowing separately for years, and now they're all merging into one massive, unstoppable force. You've got these incredible advances in AI giving the robots their brains. Then you've got this huge leap in sophisticated sensors, giving them their senses. And finally, you have these breakthroughs in hardware engineering, giving them bodies that are stronger, safer, and way more efficient than anything we've ever seen before.
Okay, so this convergence of brains, senses, and bodies, what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's meet the key players. And to really get a handle on them, it helps to think of them not just as machines, but as these new archetypes, each with a very specific purpose, like a modern pantheon of humanoids.
First up, we've got the athlete. This is the robot that's all about raw power, incredible agility, and the ability to do some insane physical feats, usually in really tough, unstructured places like a construction site or a factory.
And the undisputed champion in this category has to be the new Boston Dynamics Electric Atlas. And notice the shift here, away from just making crazy viral videos of backflips and towards real, practical work. With a 2.3-meter reach and a solid 90-kilo frame, this machine is a serious industrial tool. In fact, its first deployments are already headed to Hyundai.
All right, next, let's look at a completely different design philosophy, the helper. This robot isn't built for a factory. It's designed from the ground up to operate safely and effectively right alongside us, in our own homes.
And this just perfectly illustrates the difference. Meet 1X's Neo. First off, just look at the weight, only 30 kilograms. It's designed to be lightweight so it's safe to be around people. But the really mind-blowing number here is the 22 degrees of freedom in each hand. What does that mean? Well, it's like having 22 tiny independent joints, which gives it that incredible dexterity you need to tidy up a room, handle a wine glass, and do all the everyday tasks of a true household assistant.
And that brings us to our final archetype, the worker. This is the humanoid that's purpose-built for the factory floor. It's all about endurance, precision, and collaborating with human teams in manufacturing and logistics.
Yeah, so the crucial thing to get about a robot like Apptronic's Apollo is its focus on industrial stamina. A 5-hour hot-swappable battery means it can work almost a full shift without needing a long coffee break. And with over 28 joints, it has that super refined motion control it needs for complex assembly tasks. It is a true factory workhorse.
So we've met the athlete, the helper, and the worker. Pretty incredible stuff, right? But what's the actual magic that makes them tick? Let's peel back the metal and look at the core technologies that are powering this entire revolution.
It all comes back to those three pillars we mentioned. First, you've got the AI, the brains of the operation. Second, the perception systems, which are the senses. And third, the actuation, which is the body. Each one of these has taken a quantum leap forward, and it's how they work together that unlocks this whole new generation.
So let's start with the brains. The really big shift here is moving away from robots that just follow pre-programmed instructions to robots that can actually understand goals. We're now seeing AI like what 1X calls a world model.
So instead of having to program move arm to position X, close gripper, lift object, you can just say, hey Neo, tidy up the table. And the AI figures out all the steps on its own. It identifies the mess, it plans the movements, it does the work. It literally learns by watching humans, getting smarter and more autonomous every single time.
Okay, now for the senses. How does a robot understand and interact with us? Well, a robot like a mecha from Engineered Arts can create over 50 different, incredibly lifelike facial expressions. Now, this isn't just some party trick. It's a huge deal for social perception. By mirroring human emotions and reactions, it can build rapport, show you what it's thinking, and communicate without even speaking. It makes collaborating with a robot feel, well, natural. It's perception that goes way beyond just seeing objects.
And finally, the body. Wow, this slide really says it all. The old Atlas was an absolute marvel, but it was powered by these loud, messy, super complex hydraulics. The new electric Atlas, it uses quiet, efficient electric actuation. That one change makes it safer, way more reliable, and practical enough to actually move out of jaw-dropping demos and onto a real factory floor.
And that refinement goes all the way down to the fingertips. We saw this number earlier, but it's so important it's worth repeating. 22. Just think for a second about all the impossibly tiny, precise movements your own hand can make to pick up a coin or thread a needle. That's the level of hardware leap we are talking about. It's what separates a crude, clumsy claw from a tool that's capable of truly delicate, human-like manipulation.
So we've got smarter brains, sharper senses, and more refined bodies. We've met this new pantheon of robots, which brings us to the final big question. What does it all mean, and where are we actually headed?
If you only take one single thing away from this entire explainer, please let it be this. The humanoid revolution isn't happening because of one magic invention. It's happening because the fields of AI, sensing, and mechanical engineering have all hit this critical point of maturity at the exact same time. It's all about the convergence.
So, let's just quickly recap the key takeaways. We are absolutely entering a milestone era for robotics, and 2026 is shaping up to be a huge year. This new generation is best understood by what it's built to do, whether it's a powerful athlete, a dexterous helper, or a tireless worker. And driving all of this is that powerful fusion of advanced AI, sophisticated sensing, and refined hardware.
Which leaves us with one final thought. The technology is moving forward at an absolutely incredible pace. The engineering problems are being solved, one after another. The robots are, without a doubt, on their way. The only real question left is, are we ready?